to a brand new Planet Zoo series. I'm Mumazing and I'm playing this to record it for my second channel, which I have yet to actually set up, but I will set it up in time to put this on as my very first video on my new channel. My other channel, if you want to check it out, is Mumazing Gaming. It has over 10,000 subscribers. It's mainly Roblox content. That's why I need this new channel, because this is more building related, more really what I'm into. So I'm really excited to do this, and welcome to my new zoo. This one is going to be called Pandora Zoo, and it's going to be an avatar themed build. I'm really hoping I can get this going and get it going, you know, good, and hopefully get some good terraining going. I don't know, I'm not an experienced builder like all of these big builders, so it's really going to be a trial and error thing, but I'm going for the aesthetic, and then I will create the connections later, hopefully, through the terrain that I've built up to create this world. But I've chosen the Oceania palette in Tropical because it's got these beautiful flat top mountains in the background, which is going to kind of help. And then I'm going to go through the background here, and I'm going to really lift the terrain if I can, and then create like these like log formations with hanging rocks, not hanging rocks, hanging vines and things, and try to create a world that is kind of makes you feel like you might be in Pandora from the Avatar movie by James Cameron. So where do we start? Well, I'm gonna have to go right to the borders actually. I really want to have that view that looks like you're looking at something crazy awesome, but I want all these trees that are already here, so I'm gonna do a fair bit of tree moving. So let's just kind of grab these trees and pick them up and move them back towards the entrance, because we are going to use them later. Just throw them there. So I'm going to have to create some mountains. We're going to do a cube. Alright, so I'm building up this mountain. I want to try and get that tabletop kind of formation, so I'm using kind of both the cylinder and the square texture, and I want to create a few holes in the rock, and thought about switching it up and trying to rotate it or turn it around, but it didn't quite work out. But there you can see I'm starting to get it flat on the top there. I'm starting to chisel and texture the dirt. I haven't recolored it at this point, but I'll just kind of chisel it out, smooth out the base, because I know that is going to go a bit bumpy down the bottom there. And I thought about trying to create some stalactites as well, but instead we're just going to make a hole in the rock. So we're going to connect it up, and then I can have a path running through that later possibly. So now I need to put some rock texture in. I need to create a kind of a template that I'm going to use going forward. So first I think what I need to do is put a pool up the top here and create a cascading water feature of some sort going down. So I'm going to use these temperate rocks, build them up around here. I'll try and get some different shapes and different sizes. Some of these, more of these pancake flat ones going in. And we'll fill in the gaps with a few smaller rocks as well. Keeping it with the temperate because I think the colour is a nice neutral one for the type of build that I'm going for. Like there's a little bit of warmth in it, there's a little bit of just more muted grey tones, so this is kind of going to work perfectly. So we'll get all of these in, just throw them in, and then we're going to do a bit of copy and pasting. I'll try and keep the selection somewhere off the side as well. So this build is going to be interesting. There's going to be a whole lot of areas where I've just got stuff dumped basically, and then I will work on this area, fill it up with these rocks and make it look kind of cool. We'll just get all of these in here. Actually, I'm liking how this is turning out. So the Pandora world is very, I don't know, the scale of it is very, very large. Like you feel like you're up in the clouds. So I might have to put some sort of cloud special effects in as well. Maybe I can get this feature higher. The problem with this is that you can't copy paste terrain editing. Like you can't edit the terrain. So I can't just grab this terraforming that I've done and copy paste it anywhere, which is a bit of a shame. So I'm kind of blocking out a bit of rock formation, and then we're just gonna copy and paste at least this part of it, because using all rocks wouldn't work. Maybe I should have done all rocks, but here we go. I'm going to copy and paste it, move it, flip it round, rotate it, stick it in kind of slightly under, and adjust the terraforming of the terrain, like chiseling it in, moving it around, kind of get it overlapping so it looks a little bit more natural. Now we've got these areas now I can like put vines and stuff and hang them down underneath, so that'll look really, really cool. Anyway, so I don't know, my thought now is to get this pool area done. So I have to create an area for water to fill in, and I am terrible with the, like, I've only just recently learned how to put a barrier in to raise the water level. So instead I'm going to use the special effects. I'm going to create a channel for the water to run down and get that to flow all the way through. And also to give the water a bit more colour, I am painting the terrain in patches in the areas that don't really see light, the green, to give it kind of like a mossy, mildewy tone. So any areas that have water are going to be slightly greener, and also the path of water is going to run down, is going to be green as well. And these are the special effects I'm trying to put in right now to create the water effect. So I need some kind of a waterfall top to show the spill over, and then I'll use the jets to create a slower water kind of flow, because the existing waterfall midsections run too fast, so they don't look accurate. Maybe that's something that Planet Zoo could possibly work on, and creating a slower, softer water flow length and longer length as well, because I have to connect up so many of these to make it work. So this is just a waterfall top, and as you can see I'm playing around trying to get the flow of the water down, and as it's kind of staggered I have to be careful where I put this. Now this is foam, like rapid foam, so that's nice. It shows flow and direction, and I'm able to raise it above the waterline a little bit, so that's really, really handy. I can put that in. And then these are the jets that I was talking about. They've got a softer flow, so you place them lower, angle them upwards, and then they kind of return. The gravity makes them fall softer, so that is probably the best way to use the jets. That's what a jet looks like. If you actually just shoot it downwards, it's very, you can get this flow going. So these ones are slightly arced, but they're way off in the background to get them to arc. So, and look, I can change the day conditions there so I can work in the daytime a lot better. So yeah, this is a bit of fluffing around, definitely. Okay, and so the next part of this is going to be working through the side that I kind of chiseled out and fill in these little kind of cascading waterfalls with rocks and different elements. So I'm just trying to work out where my big drop is going to be, and just make the small steps to begin with and get them with a little bit of splash effect underneath them, kind of get that flow going, and then we'll have one big drop that goes down as far as I can go, and then I'll be able to copy and paste that and use that later on the other side of these mountains and on other mountains as well. Now that I've got those bits going, I'm going to need to put some more rocks in as well. This is a very dark side, but I'm going to use some rocks and little pancake, little stepping rocks, and just little bits jutting out here and there, and try and fill it out, get it looking really nice. As you can see, I've got a little bit of a mist effect in there as well on this side. It's not really that visible on the side, but it should work out pretty good. And then I'm going to put some lichen-y kind of moss to give it a bit more texture running all the way through the back as well. So it is quite dark here, but it'll be fine. Some more jets to flow down. This is me getting the main jets going. I'm getting a couple of smaller ones to give the waterfall some texture through here. So there's going to be a few kind of up and down at different heights, just to get more flow and more texture. Here we go, a few more, and that looks about good. And yeah, I've got to do the really big one as well. Anyway, so I do have a couple of other Planet Zoo videos on my other channel, but I'm not going to bring them over to this channel. This is going to be like a brand new start, and then I hopefully be able to bring some Minecraft in here as well, because I've got quite a few good Minecraft episodes, mainly with the shaders and textures and, you know, realism. So it's a little bit different Minecraft, but it's definitely building. Now here I come in with this mossy lichen type stuff, and I'm just going to put it all through the back there. I think it works really well as a texture. It looks really good. And then I get these vines as well going down. They're going to pretty much hang from all of these rocks on the cooler sides. Another thing with tabletop mountains is that they have quite a bit of dense foliage in the top, so I'm going to have to really bulk up the top once I've flattened it out with some rocks and some trees. And I'm actually going to stab it like a pincushion. Basically I'm going to just stab it with trees, push the trees all the way in so the foliage is sticking out, and that's about it. So it's starting to look really nice and green and lush. It's going to be an interesting copy and paste because it's all going to be floating, so I'm going to have to do a lot of adjustments on the other side, but this is starting to look good. See that lichen on, oh sorry, the moss should I say, just clinging to the rock helps it all kind of fit together and give it a really cohesive feel. I think that works really well. Here we go, we're going in with a bit more, just dotting them around, giving them some randomness. So yeah, this is my first speed build. I've done little elements of speed builds, but I've done nothing to the scale where you record for hours and then just kind of speed it up and then talk over the top of what you're doing. It's really quite interesting. You can't have any dead air when you're doing this, so you got to keep working to have something to say basically. So unfortunately I don't have a lot of other videos to kind of say, hey, well I did this and I did this, so this is all very new, so bear with me. And this is what I'm talking about, like treating the rocks like a pincushion and stabbing them with trees and just getting them to fill out all the way through there. And I've turned one right upside down and just stab it up through the middle underneath. I think this greenery really works. These trees are pretty good. So this is the other side right now. I've copy and pasted the entire feature over here where it's a lot sunnier. And there's going to be a lot of interesting things going on in this area once it's built out. So for this part right now, I need to focus on removing the stray foliage that's just hanging there. Move those trees because they're no longer pincushioning any of the rocks, and actually bring the texture of the landscape of that rock out to meet those areas as well. So I'm using the terraining tool once again, terraining stamp, and I'm just kind of painting or bringing out that landscape and doing a little bit more chiseling through here to give it a nice look. And then I'm going to paint some of this green back in like I did earlier and move those trees. So the greener areas are where it's cooler, so it's more like a moss lichen effect. That's going to be really cool. So yeah, I'm going to move these about. I know there's some stray, I can see them right now, some stray hanging viney things that are going to have to move. So I'm just going to push these in. This isn't going to be traversable by anyone. The traversable area is going to be closer to the rock, so I'm going to run a path around the other side that's going to loop all the way around and down into that kind of hole in the rock as well. So get rid of these 3 bits as well. Now this whole feature, like I said, is copy pasted elsewhere, so I can bring it in and do more things with it later. I'm just going to move them somewhere underneath a rock here just for now. Just move them out of the way. So what do you think? Do you like this? I really enjoyed doing this. It's been a lot of fun. Anyway, thank you so much for watching Mumazing Gaming. Please do subscribe to my channel. It's brand new. Hit the notifications. And yeah, I can't wait to bring you more episodes. Next time we're doing mushrooms. It's all part of that Avatar theme, so it's going to be really cool. Please, I hope you join me for that, and we'll see you again next time. Have a good day. Bye.